watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 19th meeting for the Michigan City Common Council Finance Committee. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening and welcome to the Michigan City Finance meeting. And today is August 19th, 2025. And I would like to start off with roll call. Dr. Cora,
Here.
Mr. Beatrice,
Present.
Tracy Tillman, present. We will look at the Michigan City Riverboat and Boyd claims docket for August 19th, 2025. Riverboat Fund 2235, $314,928.25. Riverboat EFT Fund 2235, $0. Rainy Day Fund 2236, $0. Boyd Development Fund 2504, $0. This is for the Rethan Riley Construction Co. Inc., and this is for the projects that have already been approved by council and members. You also have in your packet, it breaks down the invoice breakdown by divisions and what those streets were. So our total claims is for $314,928.25. May I entertain a motion for approval?
So. Support.
Have a motion by Dr. Cora and a second by Mr. Beatrice. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. The claims docket for August 19, 2025 has been approved. The City of Michigan City 2025 Riverboat Rainy Day Fund Statement of Cash Position. Fund Type 2235 Riverboat Fund. Ending balance $2,999,944.84. Fund Type 2236 Rainy Day Fund. Ending balance $1,167,400.42. The grand total fiscal year to date, 8/19/2025, ending balance $4,167,435.26. Just to mention a couple of things that is going to come up on tonight's City Council that deals with finances. We will have first reading on ordinance regarding approval additional appropriation in the budget of the Park Concessions Non-Reverting Fund number 2507 to construct a new wing of Wonder Aviary exhibit at Washington Park Zoo. On second reading, ordinance establishing a municipal motor vehicle license, excise surtax, and municipal wheel tax, and creating division for excise wheel surtax and wheel tax in Article 6, Finance, in Chapter 2, Administrations in the Michigan City Municipal Code. Also, I would just like to bring to the attention that we are in budget time for the 2026. And so as of right now, we have a budget timeline has been set. It will be presented. The mayor budget presentation will be held on September 11th at 5:30 p.m. in the EOC room. We will have first reading mayor virtual handouts for the public, September 16th at 5:30 p.m. in the EOC room. Council public workshop departments by the city finance. This will be for September 24th at 5:30 p.m. And if we need to do more than one, then the other tentative date would be September 25th. At 5:30 p.m. The mayor budget workshop follow-up will be held on September 30th. The second reading and public hearing is set for October 7th. Should there be a third reading, if necessary, that will be held on October 21st as well. I would like to ask, are there any comments from the
Madam Ch-
committee?
Madam President, in October, what were the two dates you mentioned?
The 2 dates in October, the second reading and public hearing is October 7th. And the third reading, if necessary, will be October 21st.
Thank you very much.
Budget hearing has to be concluded by October 31st of 2025.
Thank you.
And as of right now, in regards to receiving our budget workbooks for 2026, because there are still other matters at hand in regards to the wheel tax to determine how the budget is going to need to be set so that they know, so that the mayor and the controller's office and the finance committee knows what is going to be utilized and what, if the wheel tax passes, then how that is going to affect the 2026 budget. So once we find out if the council is going to pass that on this evening, we'll determine running those numbers to see how it's going to benefit if it is passed, and if it does not pass, how that is going to affect our budget for 2026. And once that is concluded, then we will then receive our budget workbooks to review.
Thank
Yes, Mr. Biaggi.
Are we through with that issue? Can I go to a new one? Okay.
Yes.
Very, thanks for doing this. This is what we were asking for, and I appreciate it. I really haven't had a chance to look at it in any detail at all, but I will. But I'm looking briefly at 6/30/24 versus 6/30/2025. And I know this can be misleading because it's tempting to say, oh, we had more here, but I don't know how we're sitting relative to the budget. Are we sitting relative to the budget? Do these numbers make sense for half year?
Yeah, they actually do. And that's why I also put in a budget performance report is behind it.
That's what I haven't seen.
That's telling you that everybody is staying at about 50%. Everything is like June 30th. June 30th is our reconciled balances. June 30th is what we go for with the budget. So this has also been in conjunction with me getting all the paperwork ready for the DLGF for the budget. So if you look at the budget performance report, I think that really gives you a better key on how everybody's managing their budget. This is in summary form, so it's not real details. But you can see like the general fund, we're at 43% of our expenses, and this is at half year. So that's about right where we really should be. You know, we're not even over half and so forth. The same funds that are listed on here are also listed on the budget performance report, and they're all staying under 50%, which is exactly where we want to be. The other thing that I wanted to note, and that's why some of these 2024s, except for general fund is actually healthy. We've been collecting more permits. We raised our permit fees. I think that's why our cash balances are a little higher than they were before. But the one thing I want to point out that I've been watching and monitoring is Riverboat. And we've not made the only Riverboat transfer that I made for this year so far is from Motor Vehicle Highway Fund. If you were to look at 2024, these balances that are somewhat higher, I already made some of the Riverboat transfers that were budgeted last year. I'm holding off on those because if the fund balances are positive, we may or may not transfer the entire budgeted Riverboat transfer. We may, if Riverboat funds kind of come in slightly less, I'm not going to transfer as much. So that's also why those balances in 2025 are a little bit less, because a lot of these Riverboat transfers have not been made. They probably will be made more in the third quarter of this year, or even towards the last quarter, when we got to see how much Riverboat money do we really have? How much do we feel comfortable, to transfer into these funds?
Right. Yeah, this information is what I wish I'd had an opportunity to look at.
Yeah, no,
This need it, but yeah.
Also, it's going to tie exactly, and you're in our audit. I cannot talk about the audit, but once the audit results and it's been published, I will come back and then we can kind of go over the full fund, because they'll actually publish our whole financial statements because we have many more funds than just these. I just wanted to give you a snapshot
Right.
of our major funds.
Well, I was at the exit interview.
Yes, correct,
Statement.
correct. So I'll be up again after that's published to kind of talk about the audit.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot for this.
Mary, I have a few questions.
Uh-huh.
You said the Riverboat Fund was not transferred into the motor vehicle fund. Is that what you said?
Oh, it was. That was the only fund, that was the only amount that we transferred right in 2025. All the rest of them, even though we have riverboat transfers budgeted from last year, they have not been made yet.
Okay.
That's why they would have been made by June 30th, 2024. That's why these funds are a little bit higher. So when you kind of
My
compare.
question is, is it usual and customary, and did we, in last year's budget, propose that certain amount of riverboat money will be transferred into
Yes.
all these funds?
Yes, pretty much. Local Park, not Local Road and Street didn't have one. Aviation, I'm not sure. Golf, no. Cemetery, yes. So general fund is going to get a riverboat transfer most likely. Motor vehicle highway has gotten some of it. It might need more by the end of the year. We're kind of wet because we cannot have the fund end the year in a negative balance. That's why we have to use some riverboat funds. Park and Rec has got it will have a small one probably, and cemetery.
And so when we were discussing yesterday at the workshop that riverboat money is being used for operations, this is what it is.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
have been transferring riverboat money into these funds so that it is used for operations.
Correct, absolutely. And when you go through the budget workshops for the 2026 budget, I think it will make a lot more sense once you see the whole picture.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, when in this handout you gave us, revenues received from Blue Chip Casino,
That's riverboat.
2025 and 2024. What percentage decrease are you projecting?
Well, right now we're under 3. If I compare from last year,
Right.
that's a -3. We've received $349,000 less
Okay.
than we did last year.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of monitoring and seeing how much riverboat funds we can transfer. Just because we budgeted it does not necessarily mean that I'm going to transfer the whole thing. So that's why we're monitoring, because riverboat receipts are lower than they were in 2024.
The
We're monitoring.
The other question I had was, we are going to consider this wheel tax
Yes.
resolution today. And one of the things that was brought up yesterday during the workshop was that Senate Bill 1 that was passed has a significant negative impact
Correct.
on our revenues going
Correct.
forward. I know you don't have all the information numbers. What is your projection?
Actually, and I'll go ahead and send it to all the council, and I meant to do that, and I apologize. Baker Tilly actually came up with a really nice summary, and I don't know if that's been given to any of the council people, but I can forward that because they kind of spell it out. Because we've been having a lot of the cities and towns have been reaching out to their municipal advisors. I will send that to all the council people. I think it's really
Yeah, please
clear.
do. And is it your impression that the decrease in revenues as a result of Senate Bill 1, it's not fixed, it'll keep increasing every year?
Well, it's going to, what's going to happen is the Senate Bill 1, yes, it's going to increase. But right now there's lobbying going on. We don't know what might happen in the next couple of years. It's the lit taxes that are going away in 2028. That's really going to affect the budget.
Can you explain about, the lit tax, we had passed lit tax to cover to increase pay for the
Police and fire, yep.
police and
Yes.
fire, right? And so we enacted it at a local level, is that correct? And
Oh, that's at a county level.
At a
We get those monies from the county. LaPorte County enacted it
right,
with our support.
right. So LaPorte County enacted it, and then now the state is taking that away, even
Yeah.
though the county enacted it?
And the county, I'm not sure if I know we will need to enact our own lit taxes. And every indication is that we're not going to be able to recoup all of the amounts that we were getting before from the county. And once again, Baker Tilly is kind of, they're all, right now, they're kind of focusing on this next year to see what the effect is. But that's kind of the bigger drop.
My question then is, when the county enacted the lit tax,
Mhm.
the people living in the county were paying a separate local income tax plus a separate lit tax. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, that was an additional tax. The
Additional
public
tax.
you had public safety lit was an additional tax on top of the other lit taxes. Correct.
And now, as a result of what was enacted, the county will not be charging the lit tax on the taxpayers.
Not on Michigan City. No, we will have to do this if we want to enact lit tax. It'll be at a local level.
Okay, all right. All right.
More to come.
Yeah, I think it's so confusing for us. I think I think from time to time, there needs to be a simple presentation to explain all this because people get so confused.
And it's not simple. That's why we're relying on Baker Tilly.
Right.
But let me forward some information because they actually put it in really concise, and I think I'll forward you everything we received from Baker Tilly.
And in addition to that, can you send us about the lit tax, a separate thing as to what happened to the lit tax? Now the county will not be imposing the lit tax, and then to make up for that, then each city has to impose its own lit tax. And what will the county do to cover their emergency management people? Will they enact a set?
I don't know what the county is going to do.
Okay.
I mean, we will focus on what Michigan City will have to do, and I'll clarify and say it's still we're all still trying to figure it all out too.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll give you all the information that I have.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Arlene. Are there any other questions for the controller? If there are none, do we have anyone online that have any public comments? We do not. Are there any public comments at this time regarding the city finance? Are there any public comments at this time? Any public comments from the public regarding city finance? There are none. Public comments are closed. If there are no more city finance business at this time, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. The time now is 6:18 p.m.